Hi friends, let's draw some apples. You're going to have your white paper, a pencil, and your little tracer. This is to trace the shape of an apple. Place your tracer down, holding with one hand, then take your pencil straight up and down and trace the sides of the tracer all the way around, pressing your pencil up against the edge. And done. I have one apple. We're going to trace 3 apples. So I'm going to go ahead and place my apple in a new spot all the way around, trace, and then trace my 3rd. Good. Once I've traced my 3 apples, I'm going to add a stem and some leaves. A stem is a rectangle. Draw a small rectangle on top. A leaf is a shape like an oval. Draw a small oval on top next to the stem. Good job. Now it's time to paint. We're going to be mixing some colors today. We're going to be mixing up the primary colors to make some secondary colors. We learned today that the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. We're going to start by mixing red and yellow to make an orange apple. Let's take our big brush to mix with. We're going to start by taking a little bit of yellow onto our brush. See how I'm scooping it onto my brush? I need a lot of yellow, so I'm going to scoop it. I'm going to place it into one of the circles of my mixing plate. Then, before I take red, I have to wash this yellow away. So I'm going to make sure I go dip, dip, dip in my water cup. And you'll notice there's a sponge on your tray. This sponge is to dry your brush. So I'm going to go scrub, 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 and dry. To make sure it's really clean, I can test it on my hand. Perfect. Now I don't need a lot of red, so instead of scooping, I'm just going to dip a little bit on the tip. Do you see how small that is? Mix this with my yellow. Swirl, 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 and you will see I've made a beautiful, beautiful orange color. Let's use that to paint our first apple. Pressing your paint smooth and slow. I like to outline my shape first. That means go around the edge. Then once I know I've got it, I can then paint the inside. That is so much easier. Nice and smooth, 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 smooth. Great job. I need to wash all this orange away. Dip, dip, dip. And remember to scrub and dry on my sponge. Clean? Yes. Now we know that apples are different colors, so we can paint one apple just red and one apple just yellow. I'm going to take a little bit of red, outline my apple nice and smooth, then paint the inside. Now I'm going to paint one more apple. I can choose either yellow or green, so I'm going to wash this red all the way away. Now, if I want to paint this apple yellow, sometimes apples are just yellow, I can just use my yellow. But what if I want to make a green apple? I love green apples. We have to mix up some green. So I'm going to get a clean brush, take some yellow, scoop, scoop, put it in my next mixing spot. Wash the yellow away, dip, dip, dry, dry, dry on my sponge. And now I'm going to take the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest bit of blue. Watch this. Ooh, can you even see that? It's so tiny. You don't need a lot. Blue is so dark. You don't need a lot. Take that and mix it with your yellow. You will notice that you're making a nice little lime green color. That looks so good. I love that green. Now, if you want it to be even more green, well, you can wash your brush, take a tiny bit more blue. See how tiny that is? Mix it with your yellow to make an even darker green. Oh, I like that green. Let's use all of that to paint our apple. Outline the sides, paint the inside smooth. That looks great. Now we know that leaves are green too, so I can use that same green to paint my leaves. Or maybe I want to make a darker green. I'm going to clean my brush and mix up a new green. So scoop some yellow, wash, wash, wash my brush, dry, dry, dry my brush. I'm going to take a little bit more blue than I took before. See how much that's a little bit more. Mix it with my yellow. Ooh, this is a darker green. I like that green for the leaves. I'm going to paint the leaves with this darker green. Now, boys and girls, did you know that the stem of an apple is brown? Well, we don't have any brown today. We only have red, yellow, and blue. So here is a fun art trick. If you ever want to make brown, the trick is to mix all the primaries together. So let's start with a clean brush. Make sure it's clean. Yep. Take a big scoop of yellow. Put it in my tray. Wash the yellow away. Take a tiny bit of red. I don't need a lot. Mix it with the yellow. I made orange, but I need blue to make it even more brown. Wash that away. Take the tiniest bit of blue. Mix it together with the orange. And you might notice it's starting to make a brownish color. Brown is pretty tricky to make to get it to be the right color. So if you're having trouble, Ms. Buettner can help you. You can raise your hand. Or if you're really not getting it, we can always just put a little bit of brown paint on our paint tray. There we go. I finished my apples. This is wet, so I need to put this on the drying rack. Next week, we're gonna cut them out. Good job.